One of the big games coming out this year is the 6th iteration of the Far Cry franchise. Well, at least I'm crossing my fingers that it does arrive in 2021. We haven't seen much yet, but so far, from what has been released, we can see some true potential and interesting stuff on display. Let's go through everything we know about Far Cry 6. Before we start though, if you want to stay tuned about everything I do, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of every video that I release. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and let's jump right in. Far Cry is at home whenever it's set in a tropical setting, which is a big inspiration for the new area called Yara. Inspired by Cuba, we're gonna see really similar aesthetics from architecture, vistas, and cars. The main capital of Yara is called Esperanza, the first main urban environment in a Far Cry game. It sounds really interesting because we haven't seen anything like this before, and I can't wait to see what that brings to the table from a gameplay and game design perspective. Also worth noting, from an interview linked in the description with narrative director Navid Kavari, the verticality is a complete game changer. Being able to run across rooftops, use back alleys, fight against some of the toughest opponents in the game in this setting, I think is really unique and fresh. That bit about the verticality really piqued my interest. Having a great level design with some verticality and gameplay systems that complement it will definitely bring new life into the already great gunplay that Far Cry is known for. One of the features that is almost synonymous with Far Cry is having buddies fighting alongside you. Well, I'm glad that this is going to be back in Far Cry 6, but in this iteration it's called Amigos For Hire. One of those buddies is a dog called Chorizo. Cute and deadly? Who knows? We already know the name of our protagonist. The name is Dani Rojas, and we'll be able to choose to play Danny as either a man or a woman. According to the same interview mentioned before, we knew that if we're going to tell the revolution story, if we're going to tell a story about someone in the guerrilla movement, you need to have that personal connection with them. You need someone who's rooted in the world, who has a background. So we wanted proper performance capture, and we wanted to have a voice. This eases my mind a bit about the protagonist being just a blank vessel for the player. Sometimes that's what happens when you can choose whatever aspects of the main character when playing, but having dedicated voice actors and performance captures will bring the character to life, giving it more meaning and depth. For 50 years, Anton Castillo, portrayed by Giancarlo Esposito, has ruled Yara with an iron fist. In Far Cry 6, you'll be fighting in a revolution to challenge him and his dictatorship, and Anton is not playing around. In the trailer, we can see military people with guns and riot shields and civilians with explosives. And you know, when civilians arm themselves with explosives, you know something's about to go down. When you're looking at something as complex as an island that's been essentially cut off from the rest of the world for 50 years, been in an economic downturn, electing this leader on the back of this idea of building a new paradise, the idea with Anton is he definitely lulled people into believing this was the only answer for them, that he was the one and that was going to solve all of their problems. And so for us, it became super interesting on the character side to explore the idea of, you know, there definitely were some people that voted for him, that believed in him, that now are regretting that choice. And there are those that still support him. The intersection of those demographics and worldviews and opinions is something that plays out in the story as well. And I gotta tell you, I really like this idea. It really reminds me of Far Cry 2, where you could choose both factions. And you know, shows us people playing the board from all sides, having distinct layers to not only Anton, but the population of Yara as well. It will definitely be something I'm gonna be looking forward to in the game for sure. Thank you for hanging out until the end of the video. Are you as excited as I am for Far Cry 6? Tell me in the comments below. Before I leave though, let me just remind you to subscribe if you haven't yet and to hit that bell icon to get notified of when my videos are released. Leaving a like helps me out immensely, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!